Is there anything I'm doing today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't start again if I had to do it over? Hey there everyone, welcome back to the Creative Action Podcast. This is Bruno Flow, and today we are going to get into a topic that is super transformative and I know you will truly enjoy if you're a creative entrepreneur. This concept is called zero-based thinking. This is a concept that I learned from Tracy and also is mentioned by Stephen Covey in his book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you ever felt stuck in a rut or wonder if you are making the right decisions, this episode is for you. We are going to break down what zero-based thinking is, how it works, and how you can use it to make better decisions and reduce stress. So, what's zero-based thinking? This is a powerful mindset where you regularly ask yourself, is there anything I'm doing today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't start again if I had to do it over? I will say it again. Is there anything I'm doing today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't start again if I had to do it over? It's all about reflecting on past choices with your current wisdom. This practice helps you avoid getting stuck in situations that no longer serve you well. In example, let's talk about your career. Think about your job. If you weren't in it right now, would you choose it again today, knowing what you now know? This is the challenge of zero-based thinking. It helps you evaluate if you are on the right path or if it's time to switch things up. This is not just for your job, it applies for personal relationships, daily habits, and every other part of your life. It's about making sure your past decisions are still aligned with your current goals and values. Recognizing that a past decision wasn't the best is not easy, but this is crucial for your growth. Remember that we are all humans, we all make mistakes, so recognizing these mistakes is the first step to moving forward. Often, the things we wouldn't choose again are the biggest sources of our stress and dissatisfaction. So, if you stay in those situations, obviously it will lead you to frustration and even health problems. So, zero-based thinking helps you pinpoint and deal with these issues. If you identify a situation you wouldn't choose again, the next step is figuring out how to get out of it and how quickly you can get out of that situation. So, in example, let's say that you use this approach and you ask yourself, okay, knowing what I now know, would I start again this thing if I had to do it over? This kind of reflection demands courage, but this can bring transformation to your life. And it's highly likely that when you make a choice based on this kind of exercise or mental model, the common reaction is, why didn't I do this a long time ago? It's highly important as a creative entrepreneur to be flexible, to be open to change, especially right now with artificial intelligence getting developed at a very fast pace. So it's important to be open to change, starting new things, discontinuing others, and doing things completely differently. So after you make this question, there are 4 ways in which you can change your business activities or your personal life. The first one is do more of what's working best. The second one is do less of what's not working. Third, start doing something completely new or different, which often means stepping out of your comfort zone. And fourth, stop certain activities altogether, which brings us back to the zero-based thinking. So this is the question: is there anything I'm doing today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't start again? Tracy calls this the KWINK analysis. KWINK, knowing what I now know, is like the acronym of this question. And this is crucial in times of rapid change. So how do you recognize that you are in a zero-based thinking situation? Well, stress is the biggest factor according to Tracy. Whenever you experience chronic stress about any person or situation, ask yourself if you would choose it again today, knowing what you now know. Remember, when you made this decision, maybe at that point it was a good decision because of your context at that moment, but now things have changed and you need to evaluate your current reality. There are several areas where you can apply this zero-based thinking in your life and work. I will go through some of them. People. Are there any people in your life, in a personal or business sense, who you wouldn't get involved with again? If so, figure out how to get out and how fast can you get out. That part I love it because it's not only about getting out, but how fast you can get out of that situation. Most of your problems, stress, and unhappiness are caused by other people. If things are not working out, have the courage to admit it. This is the difficult part, of course. Another aspect to evaluate zero-based thinking: products. Are there any products you are selling that you wouldn't bring to market again? If so, ask how to discontinue them and how fast. Service. Are there any services your company offers that you wouldn't bring to market again? Evaluate and discontinue them if necessary. Expenses. Are there any expenses in your life or business that you wouldn't incur again? Eliminate all non-essential expenses to improve your financial health. Business processes. Are there any business processes or activities that you wouldn't start again? Regularly evaluate and adjust your business practices to fit the current economic reality. Investments. Are there any investments of time, money, or emotion that you wouldn't make again? Focus on cutting your losses and directing resources towards more promising areas. It takes tremendous courage and honesty to ask these questions, these zero-based thinking questions. But once you decide to cut your losses and get out of a situation, you will have this reaction: why didn't I do this a long time ago? So be prepared to ask this question over and over. Is there anything in my life that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't get into again if I had to do it over? If there is, let's get out of there as fast as we can. So, after asking all those questions for each one of these areas, I want you to commit to taking action, because this is a creative action podcast. This is not the uncreative, lazy podcast. This is a creative action podcast. So, list one action you are going to take immediately as a result of your answer to these questions. So if you recognize that there is indeed a relationship in your life that, knowing what you now know, you wouldn't start it over, okay, maybe you need to accept this reality and cut off that relationship. Or maybe it's not about cutting off completely. Maybe there is a middle ground for this. Maybe it's something that you're giving too much focus and too much energy, but it's not giving you what you need at this point in life. So maybe you not necessarily cut it off completely, but you recognize, okay, if I had to start it over, I will not throw it again completely, at least at the moment, but I will assess this reality, adjust my actions to what I now know to make it less stressful for me. So that will be another way of approaching this situation. To recap, zero-based thinking is about questioning these past decisions with your current knowledge and making changes right now to improve your life. This is a habit that can reduce stress and lead to better decision making. So I encourage all of you to start practicing this zero-based thinking mental strategy today. So take a look at different aspects of your life and ask yourself this question, the KWINK analysis. Is there anything I'm doing today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't start again if I had to do it over? This is the question. I hope you find the courage to ask this question and to make any decisions you need and any changes you need to move forward with your projects as a creative, as a person that wants to create a new lifestyle, a new life, a new work, a new job, and you want to realize your creative vision. Until next time, keep reflecting and improving your life with this technique. So that was the episode. If you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to reach out on Instagram or Threads. You can search Bruno Flow and you will find me. Also, you have the website brunoflow.com with a lot of free resources for creative entrepreneurs. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, keep reflecting and improving your life with this zero-based thinking. Goodbye.